The late afternoon rain drummed against the tin roof of the small garage in Portland, Oregon. Marcus Thompson was wiping grease from his calloused hands when he heard the motorcycle engine sputter and die outside. Through the foggy window, he saw a woman in a black leather jacket, her dark hair soaked from the rain, crouched beside a vintage Harley-Davidson. She wasn't screaming for help or frantically dialing her phone. She just stood there in the downpour, shoulders trembling slightly. Marcus had been there before alone with broken machines and shattered dreams. He opened the door and stepped into the rain. No one could have imagined that this simple act of kindness would forever change both their lives. One man who had lost everything: his wife, his dreams, his faith and love. One woman who had everything: money, power, fame, but no one genuine by her side. Sometimes the most unexpected encounters bring the greatest miracles of all. Marcus Thompson, at the age of 34, was the proud owner of Thompson Auto Care, located on Belmont Street, a serene lane tucked away amidst charming coffee shops and quaint vintage stores. The garage was small, barely fitting 2 cars, but it was clean and organized. On the wall hung customer appreciation letters and one faded photograph, a younger Marcus standing beside a red muscle car, his arm around a blonde woman with a radiant smile. 2 years prior, Sarah, his beloved wife, succumbed to breast cancer. At just 29 years old, Marcus still remembered those final nights in the hospital when Sarah gripped his hand tightly and whispered, "Teach Lily to be kind and don't forget to love yourself again." After that, he moved through life like a machine, caring for his daughter, working, sleeping, then caring for her again. In those early months, Marcus lost track of time, neglecting meals and letting his hair grow unkempt, until little Lily, just 6, innocently asked, "Daddy, why don't you smile like you did when Mommy was alive?" At this point, Marcus had discovered how to embrace life once more. Every morning at 6, he woke up to brew coffee and prepare breakfast for Lily, usually heart-shaped pancakes or toasted bread with scrambled eggs. The little girl always sat on her high chair, legs swinging, telling him about her dreams from the night before. "Daddy, I dreamed that Mommy taught me how to make cookies. She said you're really good at fixing cars, but terrible at baking." Marcus would laugh, his heart tightening. Indeed, Sarah had a point there. She always knew how to make him smile even when she wasn't there anymore. The garage opened at 8 in the morning. Marcus wasn't a wealthy mechanic, and his customers were mostly working-class people, taxi drivers, delivery workers, students with old cars. He offered fair prices and frequently forgave labor fees for families in need. "Mr. Thompson, I don't have money to fix my car right now. Can I pay you next month when I get my paycheck?" Marcus would simply nod. Sometimes he even used his own money to buy parts for customers who truly needed help. In the afternoons, Marcus picked up Lily from school. She would sit in the garage, doing homework, occasionally asking about mechanical parts. "What does this part do, Father?" Lily gestured towards the transmission. "It helps the car change speeds. Sweetheart, like human emotions, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, but they always need careful attention," Marcus answered, his hands gently maneuvering the wrench. In the evenings after Lily fell asleep, Marcus often sat in their small backyard, sipping beer and gazing at Portland's star-filled sky. Since Sarah's death, he had not ventured into the world of dating. It wasn't that he didn't feel the pangs of loneliness. Rather, he was gripped by fear of opening his heart to someone new, only to face the possibility of loss once more. Fear of Lily forming bonds with someone who might not stay. Fear that his heart, already fragile, couldn't withstand another heartbreak. On weekends, Marcus and Lily would stroll through Powell's Books or Washington Park. Lily rode on his shoulders, pointing at beautiful cars. "When will you be able to fix cars like those, Dad?" Marcus beamed with delight. "My little girl, the most beautiful cars aren't determined by their price. They're determined by the love the mechanic puts into them." He didn't know that very soon. These words would carry deeper meaning than he ever imagined. The small details of their life revealed Marcus's character, the way he saved leftover sandwich crusts to feed the neighborhood birds, how he taught Lily to say please and thank you to everyone, regardless of their job, the careful way he folded Sarah's photo each night and placed it in the bedside drawer, whispering "good night, love," before turning off the light. His hands, forever marked by motor oil, moved with a tenderness as he braided Lily's hair or felt her forehead for signs of fever. Marcus carried his loneliness like a familiar weight, not the bitter kind that turns people cold, but the quiet kind that makes someone more compassionate. He grasped the essence of seeking assistance, of feeling overlooked, of questioning whether anyone genuinely acknowledged your presence. This realization drew his attention to the woman in the rain outside his garage, captivated by her beauty. Though she was, but because she looked as lost as he had felt 2 years ago, Elena Vasquez, 31 years old, was the CEO of Vasquez Techa, technology company, valued at $2.8 billion with headquarters in San Francisco. Forbes magazine had dubbed her the tech queen under 35. Elena's office sat on the 40th floor, overlooking San Francisco Bay, decorated with expensive artwork and Italian, designer furniture. But at night, Elena often sat alone in her leather chair, staring at the city's colorful lights, feeling as empty as the skyscraper itself. Last week, Elena had called off her engagement to David Sterlinger to a prestigious Wall Street banking family, not from lack of affection, but because she realized David loved her status more than her true self. You know, Elena, when we marry, my portfolio will increase by at least 30%. Your company perfectly complements my family's investment portfolio, David had said during dinner at a 3-Michelin-star restaurant. Elena sat down her fork and looked directly into his eyes. Do you ever remember what my favorite color is? Or my favorite food? David fumbled, forcing a laugh. Color, blue, and food, sushi? Elena actually hated sushi, and her favorite color was earth brown, the color of the New Mexico fields where she grew up. Elena's family was poor. Her mother was employed as a janitor, while her father took on the role of a handyman. Elena had attended college on scholarships, working at a coffee shop throughout her 4 years at MIT to make ends meet. She remembered those sleepless nights, writing code, surviving on instant noodles and black coffee. Her only dream then was to create software that would help people and earn enough money to take her parents traveling. When Vasquez Tech succeeded, Elena had accomplished that goal. Her parents now lived in a beautiful house in Santa Fe, traveling the world. But success also meant Elena grew increasingly distant from herself. Endless meetings, fake social parties, relationships that all served purposes. Elena felt like she was living in a glass cage. Everyone could see her, admire her, but no one truly understood her. This week, Elena made the choice to vanish from San Francisco. She didn't notify anyone, only called her assistant. I need 2 weeks off. Cancel all appointments. She grabbed the Harley-Davidson gift she had treated herself to for her 30th birthday, one that had remained untouched due to her busy schedule, and set off north. No concrete strategy, merely yearning to experience that sense of liberation once more. Elena rode through California's coastal roads, through Oregon's forests. She felt relief for the first time in years. No one calling to ask, what does Miss Vasquez think about this deal? No one judging her every word. She was just a woman, on a motorcycle, hair flowing in the wind, breathing fresh air. That afternoon, when she reached Portland, it started raining. Elena pulled over to put on her rain gear, but the Harley suddenly died. She tried restarting several times. Nothing. Her phone had been dead since morning. She deliberately not charged it to disconnect completely. Standing in Portland's rain, Elena felt helpless for the first time. Not helpless because she couldn't fix the bike, but helpless because she realized she'd forgotten how to ask strangers for help. She glanced about and noticed a cozy glow emanating from a modest garage on the opposite side of the street. Thompson Auto Care. A weathered yet tidy sign. For the first time in her life, Elena needed to rely on a complete stranger without using fame or money. And she hadn't. This was precisely what she had yearned for all along. What's wrong with your bike? Marcus stepped into the rain, still holding an oil-stained rag. Elena turned around, seeing his face clearly for the first time. A handsome face, with strong features but very gentle eyes. I'm not sure, she replied, her voice trembling from cold. It just died suddenly. Marcus examined the Harley, then looked at Elena. She didn't resemble his usual customers. Her clothes were simple but high quality. The timepiece adorning her wrist exuded luxury, yet her gaze revealed a weariness, reminiscent of a soul who had journeyed great distances over an extended period. Step inside. You're soaked. Let me check your bike. In the garage, Elena sat on a small plastic chair watching Marcus work. He checked each part carefully, occasionally shaking or nodding his head slightly. He mentioned that the fuel lines were clogged, likely due to sitting unused for an extended period. After a brief 15-minute assessment, I can fix it right away, but we need to wait for the rain to stop. How much do I owe you? Elena asked, reaching for her wallet. $50, Marcus replied without looking up. Elena found herself in a state of confusion. In San Francisco, this would cost at least $200. Are you sure? I can pay more. Marcus stopped working and looked at her curiously. What makes you inclined to spend more? The work is only worth $50. This simple question left Elena speechless. In her world, everything had a price, and high prices meant quality, respect, status. I simply want to ensure that you've produced quality work. You can judge my work by the results. Marcus smiled for the first time, not by the money. Just then, small footsteps echoed. Lily appeared from the back door, hair in pigtails, holding a sandwich. Daddy, I'm hungry. Have you eaten? Then she caught sight of Elena, her eyes sparkling with delight. Hello, you look absolutely lovely. Elena smiled genuinely for the first time in weeks. Hello there. May I ask what your name is? I'm Lily. This is my daddy. Lily pointed at Marcus proudly. My daddy is really good at fixing cars. He says cars are like people. They need love to run well. Marcus blushed. Lily, your daddy's right, Elena said sincerely. I think I haven't loved this bike enough. The rain persisted. Marcus invited Elena to stay for dinner, merely a straightforward dish of spaghetti accompanied by a fresh salad. Lily talked about school, about her drawings, about her dream of becoming a veterinarian. Elena absorbed every word, savoring the novelty of a discussion that had nothing to do with work, profit margins, or market strategy. What is your profession? Lily inquired with a sense of naivety. Elena paused, unsure how to answer. I work with computers, like games, something like that. Elena laughed. She realized she'd never explained her job so simply. When the rain stopped, Marcus had finished repairing the bike. The Harley roared to life without hesitation. Thank you, Elena said, handing over $50. Then she stopped. Could I come back? I'll be in Portland for a few days. The garage is always open, Marcus replied, but there was something warm in his eyes. The next day, Elena returned with the excuse of checking her bike. On the following day, under the pretense of seeking knowledge about basic maintenance, Marcus refrained from questioning why an owner of a high-end Harley lacked understanding of upkeep. And Elena didn't explain why she needed to stay in Portland longer than planned. Maria, the coffee shop owner next door, occasionally brought coffee to Marcus. This time she saw Elena and smiled. Haven't seen Marcus this cheerful in a long time. Elena blushed, but felt warm inside. During afternoons, Elena and Lily played together in the garage. Elena learned to draw from the little girl. Elena told Lily about her travels. You've been to so many places. Lily sighed. I want to grow up like you. No, Elena said gently. Embrace your individuality and let it flourish. That's the most special thing. Marcus watched them, a flutter of emotion rising within him. It had been ages since he had witnessed Lily radiating such joy with a woman, and Elenatha was something different about her. Not fake mystery, but genuine authenticity she was trying to rediscover. Their interactions were small but meaningful. Elena absorbed the process of checking tire pressure as Marcus took the time to elucidate every detail. Lily, insisting Elena stay for lunch, then proudly serving her a peanut butter sandwich made with extra love. The three of them sitting in the small backyard after dinner. Helena, listening to Lily's bedtime stories while Marcus cleaned his tools. Elena had never experienced such peaceful moments. There will be no meetings of the board, no strategic decisions, no one attempting to show off or take advantage of her. Just simple human connection. Marcus's understated resilience, Lily's innocent joy, the satisfaction of working with her hands. She found herself laughing more, sleeping better, feeling lighter than she had in years. But Elena also struggled with guilt. Every day she stayed was another day of deception. She wasn't just a woman who worked with computers. She was a billionaire CEO whose disappearance was probably causing chaos in San Francisco. Yet every time she considered leaving, Lily would hug her goodnight or Marcus would smile at something she said. Elena found herself unable to shatter this enchantment. Marcus, meanwhile, found himself looking forward to Elena's daily visits. Her presence had a soothing quality that felt restorative. The way she listened when he talked about Sarah, how she encouraged Lily's wild imagination, her genuine interest in learning about engines. He hadn't felt this way since his wife's death, and it both thrilled and terrified him. Everything changed on Friday afternoon. Elena was playing with Lily in the garage when her phone rang incessantly. She'd tried to ignore it, but the 15th call made her answer. "Elena, thank God. Where are you?" Jessica's voice or assistant came through the speaker. "The board of directors called an emergency meeting. The stock price fell by 12% due to uncertainty surrounding your whereabouts. There are rumors circulating in the media regarding your health issues." Marcus and Lily both looked up. Elena swiftly silenced the speaker. However, the moment had passed. "Stock price? Board of directors?" Marcus asked quietly. Elena looked down, knowing she couldn't hide anymore. I must clarify." She told them about Vasquez Tech, about being CEO, about why she came to Portland. Marcus remained quiet, absorbing the moment, his expression slowly becoming devoid of warmth. "So all of this was just a game to you?" he inquired at last. "No," Helena protested. "It wasn't like that. What I felt here, with you, Liliat, is the most genuine aspect of my existence." "Most real?" Marcus stood up, his voice bitter. "You lied to me for a week? You let me and my daughter believe you were just an ordinary person. What's real about that?" Lily looked between the two adults, tears forming in her eyes. "Why are Daddy and Elena fighting?" Elena knelt down, taking Lily's hands. "Sweetheart, we're not fighting. It's just that she has to go back where she belongs," Marcus said, his voice hard. "Lily, go inside the house, but Daddy, and go inside." Lily ran in. Sobbing, Elena stood up, her eyes also red. "Marcus, please let me explain." "Explain what?" Marcus turned back, pain in his eyes. "How you see us? Are we your entertainment? Or do you want to write a memoir about living like poor people?" "You know I'm not like that," Elena remarked, her voice shaking. "I don't know who you are," Marcus replied. "The woman I thought I knew wouldn't lie for an entire week. You let us open our hearts, let Lily get attached to you, and now you'll fly back to San Francisco and forget everything." "I won't forget," Elena cried. "I can't forget." "Yet you will depart," Marcus remarked, his voice tired. "You have an entire empire to run, and us? We're just an interesting chapter in Billionaire." Elena Vasquez's life. Elena shook her head with fervor. "That is not accurate. You and Lily are the most important things to me." "Most important?" Marcus laughed bitterly. "So why wasn't the truth shared from the start? Because you knew we'd treat you differently if we knew who you were, because you enjoyed being loved like an ordinary person. But you're not ordinary, Elena. I refuse to exist in that artificial realm." Elena remained in that spot, raindrops of sorrow cascading down. She recognized that Marcus had a point. She concealed the truth, fearing the loss of these precious moments. But she also hid it, because she was afraid Marcus would look at her differently, with calculating eyes like everyone else who wanted to use her. "I apologize," she whispered. "I never meant to hurt you and Lily, but you did," Marcus said. "And the worst part is you made my daughter believe you would stay." Eleanor knew there was nothing left to say. She grabbed her bag and walked toward the Harley. "Frem, I'll transfer money for the bike repair." "Don't," Marcus cut in. "Your payment has already been completed." Elena stopped at the garage door, turning back Marcus. "If I weren't a CEO, if I were simply an everyday Elena, would you?" "However, that is not the case," Marcus said, "and that's the problem." Elena rode away from Portland that night, tears blurring. Her vision, For the first time in her life, she knew what it meant to love someone more than success, more than money, and for the first time, she understood why people say love can cause such pain. 2 weeks later, Eleanor came back to San Francisco, yet she sensed a profound transformation within herself. She sat in her 40th floor office, looking out at the bay, but all she could see was the warm light from the small garage in Portland, labor, continued meetings, contracts, million-dollar decisions, but Elena felt like she was living someone else's dream. Jessica noticed the change. "Elena, are you okay? Take a look. Different. In what way is it different?" "Sad, and like you're missing something." Elena remained silent. She couldn't explain that every night. She dreamed of Lily's laughter, Marcus's gentle way of explaining engine parts, those simple but warm dinners. On a Tuesday afternoon, Elena's phone rang, unknown number from Oregon. Her heart raced as she responded. "Elena, this is Maria, the coffee shop owner next to Marcus's garage." The woman's voice was worried. "I obtained your contact information from the tip you left. Can you come to Portland right away? Lily had an accident." Elena's blood ran cold. "What accident? Is she okay?" She tumbled from her bicycle. "Trauma to the head. She's in a coma at Oregon Health and Science University Hospital. Marcus he's on the verge of collapsing. He won't leave the hospital. Won't eat anything, I think. I think he needs you." Elena had heard enough. She cancelled all meetings, secured the earliest flight to Portland. During the 2-hour flight, she prayed for Lily, prayed for Marcus, prayed to be forgiven for leaving when they needed her most. At the hospital, Elena found Marcus sitting beside Lily's bed. He looked haggard, unshaven, eyes red-rimmed. Lily lay motionless, head bandaged, machines beeping steadily. Marcus looked up when he saw Elena, surprised, but saying nothing. "I came as soon as Maria called," Eleanor whispered, sitting in the chair beside him. "How is she? What do the doctors say? It seems she may require surgery." Marcus's voice quivered. "My insurance won't cover it. They want to transfer Lily to a public hospital. However, their neurology department isn't the strongest." Elena paused in silence, lost in thought. She then retrieved her phone. "Jessica, transfer $500,000 immediately to Oregon Health and Science University Hospital. Patient account, Lily Thompson. Request the best neurology team to care for her." Marcus grabbed her hand. "Eleanor, I can't accept. This isn't for you," Elena said, looking directly into his eyes. "This is for Lily. She is worthy of the finest care." Marcus was silent, emotions cascading down his cheeks. He held Elena's hand firmly. "What brought you back?" "Because I love her," Elena answered honestly. "Because I love you. This family holds the utmost significance in my life." For the next 3 days, Elena didn't leave the hospital. She slept in chairs, ate a vending machine food, held Lily's hand, and told her stories. She talked about travels, about oceans and mountains, about the marvelous wonders that await Lily's discovery. Marcus watched Elena, realizing this was her true self, not the powerful CEO, but someone who knew how to love unconditionally. He saw her read stories to Lily in a gentle voice, observed her gently clean the little girl's face, witnessed her kneel in prayer next to the hospital bed. On Wednesday morning, Lily awoke to the world around her. "Eleanor?" Her voice was weak. "You came back." Elena burst into tears. "Darling, I'm here. I have decided to stay put from now on." Marcus stood beside them, also crying. He came to the understanding that he had erred. Elena didn't come here out of guilt or obligation. She came because of love that needed no conditions, no explanations needed. 1 month later, Lily was fully recovered and discharged. Elena was still in Portland, renting a small apartment near Marcus's garage. She worked remotely, running the company through video calls and emails. For the first time in her life, work wasn't her top priority. Mornings, Elena took Lily to school, then stopped by the garage to help Marcus. She acquired the skills to change oil, inspect tires, and even fix minor breakdowns. "Did you know Elena is really good?" Lily told Maria. "She repaired Mrs. Peterson's car, a task that even Daddy pondered over for quite some time." Marcus smiled, watching Elena concentrate on assembling engine parts. Her hair was tied back, wearing an old t-shirt, hands covered in grease, but she looked happier than ever. "She's picking it up quickly," he said to Lily. "Does Daddy love Elena?" Lily asked directly. Marcus stopped working, looking at his daughter. "Why? Do you ask that?" "Because Daddy smiles more when she's here. And Daddy isn't sad anymore like when Mommy died." Marcus knelt down, hugging Lily. "Would it bother you if Daddy loved someone other than Mommy?" Lily shook her head. "Mommy told me in my dream to take care of Daddy. And now Elena takes care of Daddy, so I don't have to worry." That evening, Marcus and Elena sat in the small backyard, looking up at Portland's starry sky. "Elena," Marcus began, "do you regret leaving everything in San Francisco?" Elena took his hand. "I didn't leave anything. I only brought the essentials, but your company will operate smoothly. I promoted the COO to CEO, and I'm just an advisor now." Elena turned to look at Marcus. "You know, my whole life I thought success meant having more things. But now I understand. Real success is knowing how to keep the right things." Marcus beamed with delight. "So what's the right thing for you, this family?" Elena answered without hesitation. "You and Lily, morning breakfasts together, afternoons in the garage, bedtime stories. I want to become Lily's mother. Want to grow old with you?" Marcus turned, looking deep into Elena's eyes. "Are you sure? This life is very ordinary. Nothing grand like your old world? That's exactly why I love it." Elena smiled. "Will you accept me?" Marcus Thompson. Instead of answering with words, Marcus kissed her. A slow kiss full of love and promise. The next morning, Elena woke up in Marcus's arms, hearing Lily running around in the yard. She smiled, never having felt this happy. The phone rang. Jessica calling from San Francisco with news about $1 million deal. Elena looked at the screen, then turned off the phone. "Not important?" Marcus asked. "Nothing's more important than breakfast with family?" Elena replied, kissing his forehead. 6 months later, Elena and Marcus held a small wedding in the garage, decorated with LED lights and Oregon wildflowers. Lily was the flower girl. Carrying a small bouquet, Maria made the wedding cake. The visitors were merely local acquaintances and frequent patrons. No reporters, no celebrities, no grand parties, just real love, real smiles, and real happiness. In her speech, Elena expressed, "I once believed that I had to demonstrate my worth through achievements, but Marcus and Lily showed me that true value comes from our capacity to love and be loved. Today I'm not just marrying the man I love, but joining a family I'll protect and nurture for life." Marcus held his wife's hand, looking at Lily's radiant smile. "Sarah, don't worry. We'll be happy." The Harley sat in the corner of the garage, now running smoothly like new. Beside it were Lily's small bicycle and Marcus's old pickup truck. 3 vehicles, 3 people, 1 complete family. Sometimes, what we search for our entire lives lies in the most ordinary moments. Real love doesn't need to be proven by status or money, but by the courage to open our hearts, to trust in the future, to choose to stay. If this story makes you believe that kindness and love still exist, please share it to spread this message.